This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, morning. What we did, we have seen
Nature of
Maruti
business.
Suzuki company, right?
Yes, sir.
This is what we have seen. Okay, did everybody write down your own company details in this format?
Yes, sir. Done.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir. Done, sir.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start this company configuration based on this input. Okay. Now let us write down the configuration steps for your baseline configuration if you wanted to set up a new company code in SAP system. Let me add baseline configuration. So to do any configuration, it is straightforward. We have to access SPRO. Right? This SPRO indicates SAP Project Reference Object. Now select this SPRO, click on OK or Enter. You will be on Customizing Execute Project screen. On this screen, you have to click on SAP Reference IMG. IMG is nothing but your implementation guide. Click on this SAP Reference IMG. You will get the full menu of SAP configuration. And out of this full menu in SAP configuration, first thing is that you have to define your enterprise structure. Okay, first thing that you have to do before you start your FICO configuration is from your enterprise structure configuration. So open this enterprise structure and you will find a definition, assignment, consistency check. Out of these three, we are responsible only for two. One is your definition and the other one is assignment. Let's go to definition first. Open this definition. Inside the definition, you will find various module related basic settings. Financial accounting, controlling, logistics, sales and distribution, material management, logistics execution, plant maintenance, human resource management. And now, as a FICO consultant, you're responsible only for two areas. One is your financial accounting and the other one is your controlling. First, always open your financial accounting. If you open this financial accounting, you will find various settings. Under financial accounting, you have defined company, defined credit control area, company code, business area, functional area, consolidation business area, FM area, segment, and profit center. These are all the settings part of your financial accounting definition. Now, for everything, there will be a transaction code. It is not that all the time you will access SPRO, IMG, enterprise structure, definition, financial accounting, and come this. This is a time-taking activity. Not recommended when you're in a project. Right? So if you know the transaction, instead of coming through this IMG path, it is always better you open this screen with that respective transaction code or T code. Now, how do we know what is the T code or transaction code for this? For that, on the menu, once you're on the SPRO IMG path, you will find additional information. Okay, from the additional information, click on additional information again. On this additional information, you will find a display key. And from this display key, you will find IMG activity. Okay, so this is the path where you will be able to see the SAP transaction code or the respective table name from the IMG path. When I click on this IMG activity, so I have got another field added here called additional information, right? You will see additional information here.
Yes,
This
sir.
additional information talks about the additional details regarding each and every IMG node. Now, if I open the first defined company, let me go to this additional information section. Here it talks about SIMG underscore CF menu SAP COX15. Now, your your transaction code is 4 digits. What is the most of the transaction code length?
Last 4 digits.
4 digits is the transaction code list in most of the cases in SAP. Now, if I look at the first part, define company, I see a huge line here. Out of this, if I do not know what is my transaction, the basic assumption is the last 4 digits. If I look at this, what is the last 4 digit in this?
OX15.
OX15 is the last 4 digit. So option number 1, I can open this and enter the screen, or option number 2, OX15. I can enter this transaction code and press enter directly. I will be in the same screen in both the cases. Now, the first step will be your define company. Just copy this, put this here. This will be your first one, and the T code for this is OX15. Now let's enter this screen, define company. Now I'm not going to access this. I will access using a T code. I'll simply put a T code OX15 and I'll enter the transaction. I will get a screen, change view, internal trading partners, or this is your company related information. Now the assumption always is that your company related information is not available in SAP, which means you are going to add your company information from the scratch. So for any of your company code, always make sure you're adding everything from the scratch in the SAP system. So if you're talking about
Maruti
Suzuki, the basic assumption is none of the information related to Maruti Suzuki is existing in the system. Meaning you have to add everything as a fresh entry or as a new entry into the SAP system. Now what I will do, I will enter SAP, I will add a new entry. In this new entries, I need to give my company name 2, and the detailed address information. First, I know what is my company name. What I'll do, I'll copy the company name and put this here, Maruti Suzuki. Now, is this company or a company code?
company.
This is just a company. In company, we do not do anything in SAP. At company level, what we do is only the consolidation. Okay, at company level, we do only the consolidation. So anything you're doing at company level is of no use. So what we are going to do, we are going to create this company at group level or as a group. I'll put Maruti Suzuki group of companies. Okay, now I'm not able to type companies here, right? After
Yes,
this,
sir.
there is no space to enter additional text. So that is where you are going to use name of company 2. Like this. This is your name column 1, name column 2, continuation. Is this correct? Continuation?
Yes, sir.
And for this, you have to give a 4-digit alphanumeric or 6-digit alphanumeric code. What I'll do, MA.
Direct Maruti you can use.
Right, so I'm going to use only 4-digit code, MARU. Now, if you scroll down, this is my transaction code. I put this here. My company is what I'm creating is MARU. I'll put this here. So I'll put transaction, put
Code. T code.
so I'll put
Description also, sir. Better to.
it's okay. Now here I need to give the detailed description or detailed information about my company, which is Maruti Suzuki Group of Companies. In this, now I have given my company name as Maruti Suzuki Group of Companies, and company is maximum 6-digit alphanumeric code, but I am choosing only 4-digit alphanumeric code, which is MARU, and street. Now we already assumed where is our company, right? We assumed our company is registered or headquartered in Bangalore, correct?
Yes, sir.
So I
Yes,
can
sir.
write any address. I'll simply put Cars Street, PO Box I'll put 10, postal code. What is Bangalore postal code series?
560078, sir. 5600.
Okay, I'll put 6-digit postal code number and city as
Bangalore.
Bangalore,
Bangalore.
and I have to give country. Now this
I.
country is a two-digit two-digit ISO predefined code. So SAP will have the countries list predefined in its own database. Wherever you are giving country, always make sure you have a drop down or not.
Hello,
Let me open this country list.
hello, am I audible?
In this, let me open India. I'll find for India. Nothing for India.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, Deep, tell me.
Yeah. We are configuring company and company code, right?
Yeah, from the beginning.
And one company code or some two, three company code? One
One
company
as of
code.
now.
Okay.
The country I'm selecting is India, and now when I press enter, there are two more fields to be filled. One is the language, and the other one is currency.
Currency.
What is the language that I am going to use? My company related information. So in majority of the cases, the language used is English, except you are in certain countries like Germany, Japan, China. There are certain countries where the local regional language is treated as official language. Okay, English is not official language in certain countries. Only in those countries, this language key may be different. Otherwise, it will be English. Now, for English, again, there is a drop down, which means there is a predefined ISO code for your language. Let's open this drop down. Look for English. Here is my English. Two-digit ISO predefined code for English is EN. Select EN and currency. In which currency you want to have your consolidation or your group reporting. So here you can use either INR or you can use a group currency. What I am going to do, I am going to use USD here. Okay, I am going to use USD here and I'll click on save. The moment you click on save, you get some prompt for customizing request. So wherever you are getting this prompt for customizing request or this pop-up indicates your setting is related to configuration, meaning this setting will reflect only in the client where you are configuring this. Now, where will we do our configuration? All of your configuration is performed in which system?
Development, sir. Development
I
system.
development, client development line.
Development system. Now, if we write something here, let me write system landscape. As part of my system landscape, I will have development, quality, and production. This is the standard landscape of any system. Now, you will be having three systems. One is your development system, two is your quality system, three is your production system. Now, any configuration that you are doing, you will have to do it only in the development system. And from development, you have to move your configuration to quality system. And from quality, you have to move to production system. Meaning, configuration is done only once and it is copied to the respective target systems or the respective clients. If you are doing the configuration, let me write here. So all configurations are done in development 100 client. Okay, all the configurations are done in development 100 client. Now you have to assume this system as development 100 client. Clear? Now the moment you click on save any of your setting, the moment you click on save on any of your setting, if it is related to configuration, this will give you a prompt like this. This is your customization request or this is your TR number. In this, what you do is click on new entries. If you are doing this configuration for the first time, since we have just started our Maruti Suzuki configuration, this is not related to my TR. What is the TR description here? This is something related to Sunshine Group of
Opticals,
right? Which is not related to us. In short, if you are configuring in any project, you have to be more concerned about your TR, where your settings are being saved. Now, this is not my TR. In short, when you're in a real-time project, you will not get TRs like this. Like your TRs are only the ones which you have created, or basis will create a TR and assign to your ID. Only two ways. Option number one, you will have option to create your own TR by clicking on this new entry or clicking on create request. In some clients, you will have no option to click on this new request. Instead, you have to notify your basis consultant. They will add a new TR in your role or under your ID. So that when you click on own request, you will find a new TR here for which you will get the code from the basis consultant. Now, as we are going to add a new TR from our own, let us click on this create request. Okay, in this create request, your TR number or your customizing request number is blank because this is always system generated number. Now remember, every TR will have two numbers. Every TR will have two numbers. One is the main task, the other one is subtask. Now, if I minimize this, what is the last digit on this TR number, current TR number?
40.
Last two digits of this current TR number is 40, right? Now, if I double click on this 40, I am able to drill down this. When I say
Yes.
I'm able to drill down, I'm able to open this. There is an icon.
Yes.
If I click this, do you see 41 also?
Yes, sir.
Inside
Sub-tier.
40, there is 41 also. Right? This 41 will store the information what you have done on this TR. 40 is only the main task Inside the 40 there will be a subtask which is always the immediate next number, that is your 41. So this is not our TR. I am going to add a new one. Here I'll put Maruti Suzuki baseline configuration. I'll save this. What is the TR number we got? Ending digits, 2 digits.
1157. 57.
57 is the last number. So any TR number that you see at the time of your configuration is always main task. Okay. So now what is the subtask? It is the immediate next number.
Next
What
number
is the
58.
next number?
58.
58. What you do is you simply double click on this 57. You will see the 58 also visible here.
Yes.
Right, 58 is also visible here. 58 is the subtask. Now all your settings that you are saving from now on are not going to be stored under 57. Instead they are going to be stored under 58. Clear? Now this TR movement is very important in any project. Whenever you do any configuration, you have to do TR movement. This TR movement is done because as per your system landscape, you are configuring in which system? As per your
Development
system
systems.
landscape, you are configuring in development system,
Development.
and you are going to configure only once. We are going to configure only one time. Though you have 3 systems, development, quality, production, you are not going to do any of the configuration 3 times. Any configuration is only one time, that is strictly development system. From development, you have to copy the configuration to quality system, and from development, you have to copy the configuration to production system. To copy the configuration from one system to the other system, you need TR number, or you need transport request number, or customization request number. Clear? Now, whenever you know the customization request number, you should always remember 2 things. One is your main task and the other one is your subtask. What are the 2 things in your TR?
Main tier and sub tier.
Right? So you have a TR. This TR contains
Main tier and sub tier.
main task and subtask. It will have main task and it will have subtask. First, you have to release the subtask and then you have to release the main task. If you have to release any TR, the sequence will be first release the subtask and then release the main task. Okay. Now, if I come back to SAP,
You meant on the
now when
quality or where?
in any system,
Okay, okay.
okay, if you look at this, while saving, which number it is getting saved?
57.
57 is where the configuration is getting saved. That is what system
Yes.
shows me, right?
Yes.
57. And if I look at this, what is the number inside 57? There is one more number,
58.
58. This 58 is what talks about customizing a task, meaning all your configuration is going to be stored under this is subtask or subtr. So you are not going to select this. System will only take this 57. Automatically, all your settings are stored under your subtask, which is 58. So I'm closing this. Okay, I'll select my main task 57. I'll click on continue. Okay, data was saved. Now what I'll do, before going to the next setting, let me open my transport request number to see what I have done. What is the transaction code we have configured now?
OX15.
OX15 is what we have configured just now. What did
Company.
we configure in OX15?
Company.
We have configured a company. What is the company 4-digit you have configured? What is the
MAR.
4-digit code of your company?
MARU.
MERU. Now, when you configured this, you stored all your configuration in a TR, in a customization request,
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Yes.
right? Now, sometimes we may forget what we did. You may forget what configuration you have done, and it is not easy to go back to each transaction code and open. So, in such cases, what you have to do is you have to open a transaction code SE01, open SE01 and enter inside this. It will show you transport organizer. In this transport organizer, give your user ID, whatever the user ID you are logging in to the system. Give that ID and select customizing request and workbench request also. Basically, the workbench request is all about technical related things. Okay, and you have a request status two. One is modifiable, the other one is what?
Release.
Released. Now, modifiable is something which is in development.
Yes.
Okay, if the TR is still in development, it is your
Modifiable.
modifiable. And if the TR has reached quality, that is your
Release.
released. If your TR is still in development, what is the TR status?
Release.
If TR is
Modifiable.
still in development,
Modifiable.
if my TR is still in the development, I call it as modifiable TR, which means I can still do additional configuration in the same TR. If
Yes.
my TR is moved or released to quality system or to production system, once your TR crossed or once your TR is moved away from your development system, either to the quality or to the production, then the TR status becomes released. Once a TR is released, you cannot reuse the TR. Once a TR is released, you cannot use the same TR once again. So if you
So,
want to do additional settings, you have to create one more TR because a
Again,
released TR cannot be reused.
again need to create own request, sir.
Again, you have to create new own request.
Okay.
If you see here, if I click on modifiable, if I click on display, I get these many things, right?
Yes.
I get these many things. And if I go back, if I select only released, I get nothing here. Now what I'm going to do, I am going to release one TR now.
Okay.
I'll click on modifiable. Okay, I'm going to release this TR. Okay, organizational structure for SBD0. If I select this, I do find a drop down here. If I click on this drop down, I am able to see the subtask which is 74 because the
Yes.
main task is 73 and the subtask is 74. This 74 stores all your customizing tasks. Let me open this subtask and I am able to see the various things that are done inside this subtask. If I click this, there is some address, and these are all the tables which are updated in this activity. Okay, in this, so this address record is updated, and there is some star. Whatever you have added will get stored under this. I'll minimize everything. Now, what is the main task? What is the subtask in this?
Whatever we selected now, that is sub tier, and the 7.3 is the main tier.
Right, the 74 is the subtask, 73 is the
73
main
is
task.
the main
Now
task.
let me try to release this tier to quality. Assume that I want to move this to quality for UAT. Let's say I don't know that subtask is to be released and then main task. Assume I don't know anything. What I will do, I will select this 73. Always to release, you have to click on this transport icon or this truck symbol. Now I'll click on this. Now before I click, I need to make sure where is my cursor. My cursor is currently at 73, which is main task. If I click this,
Not at release.
what is the message you are getting?
Sub tier is not at release.
It is telling referencing the task S4H all zeros 774 not yet released. What is this 774? If I open this,
Sub tier, sir.
this one, right? This one. This 774 is not yet released is the message it is coming, which means can we release main task directly without releasing the subtask? Is that possible?
No.
No, right? The system is alerting you, stating subtask number, and it is telling you this is not yet released. Means first you have to release the subtask and then release the main task. Now I have to place my cursor on the subtask, click on release directly. Now when I did this, there is a message at the bottom. Task 774 has been released to request 773. Correct?
Yes. Now we can release main tier.
Now if you see the difference, next to this subtask there is a tick mark.
Yes, sir.
The tick mark you can see.
Yes, sir.
That tick mark indicates the subtask is released. That tick mark indicates subtask is released. Now what you do, select this subtask, release this in the beginning, make sure you get this tick mark and you get the message subtask is released to main task. After that, select the main task, click on release icon.
Objects no longer locked.
So local request 773 released. Now what I will do, I will go back. Now I will open modifiable again. If you try to find out that 773, do you find 773 anywhere now?
No, it's not there, sir.
It is not there, right? It is not there under modifiable list. Let me go back and I'll select released. If I display the released TR,
Now
do
it
you
is there
find
in
this
release.
773 here under released?
Yes. Yes.
Right? Now, if I display both now, modifiable and released, I'll minimize the workbench. In this, let me minimize modifiable and released. Now, there are two categories inside the TR. One is
Yes,
your
sir.
modifiable list and the other one is released list.
Release list.
Whenever you are doing any configuration, you have to store or you have to select always modifiable TR, not the released TR, because once a TR is released, is not valid for additional settings. You cannot store further configuration settings in a released TR. It will not accept the further settings to it. So always remember, if your TR is released, if you wanted to make further settings, you have to add one more TR. And when you have more than one TR for your configuration, you should always follow something called TR sequence. What we need to follow?
TR sequence.
TR sequence is what you need to follow, because whenever you are giving multiple TRs to a basis consultant for the TR movement or for TR releasing, they will ask you what is the sequence. Some basis consultant might ask you to tell the sequence. Some basis consultant may not ask you. And TR sequence does not mean in the ascending order or in the descending order. Okay, it is only you as a functional consultant to tell in what sequence TRs should be released. If you have two requests or if you have two TR numbers, indicates you have done settings in two different times. Right? Assume that I have done half settings in one TR and half settings in another TR. Now, do I have any sequence or not when you do any configuration? When I say this, now everybody knows company code
Assignment.
assign company code to company. Assume that this is the three things that I am defining. I will put TR4, I will put TR2, then I'll put TR1, or I'll put maybe TR13. Now, how many settings I have written on the screen?
3 settings.
How many TRs I have written?
3 TRs.
Now, if I have to move this, now if I ignore this TRs, are my settings correct? If I
Sir?
talk about creating a company, if I talk about creating a company code, if I talk about assignment of company code to company, are these three settings correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Correct, sir. Correct.
My settings are correct. Now,
Yes.
I have used 3 different TRs for this. Now, I want to move these changes to quality system or to the production system. Okay, in which sequence I have to give? Normally, what happens? Your TRs are sorted. If I sort this, we'll copy this and put here. Now, if I sort this is not the correct sorting, right? So, if I sort, what should come first? According to the number 2,
2 will come first.
and then
4 will come next. 13 will come.
13. This will be TR13. Now, when I release the TRs, I am not supposed to follow the sequence in this way. Because some consultants, when they give the TR in the sequential order, they will put 2, 4, 13 like that in the sequence, ascending order or the descending order. It is not that order. It is the order of your configuration. Now, in the company, what system will do? It will add a company record.
Yes.
Right? In the company code, what it will do? It will add company code record.
Company code record.
And in the third one, what it will do? It will link
Yes,
your company code to company.
Company.
Now, if I move this TR first, now is this having any dependency with this?
No.
When you define a company, are you referring a company code anywhere?
No.
No, right? Which means this TR has no dependency. So this can go independently. Now, when you define company code, are you using a company anywhere?
No.
Yes, no?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No.
No, right? Which means this also has no dependency.
No dependence.
But when you define the third step, is there any dependency?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Company and
Yes.
company code has to create first.
When you do this, company and company code must be there, which means before the TR13 goes to quality, TR4 and TR2 must be moved,
There. Yes.
because this will bring a company and this will bring a company code. Only then this TR can link these two.
Yes.
Instead, if I move this TR first to TR13, remove this, system cannot perform this because company code are not yet moved in the system. Correct?
Yes, sir.
When system will recognize company and company code only when these two TRs are released. Okay, so these things we will practically understand when we do, or when we take a particular transaction and when we configure that transaction into the various configurational steps. I will show you. We will create that configuration into two parts. Then we will decide what is the TR sequence for that. Okay, so always
Okay.
remember, you will be very clear with the TR sequence that you have created, because nobody will ask you the TR sequence for the others created TRs. It is the individual consultant responsibility to know the TR sequence. Now, if I come back here, so whenever you get any customization request, always remember you are saving it in the main task that gets auto stored in the subtask. Clear?
Yes, sir.
If you release the TR, it will be part of a released list. If you do not release the TR, that will be part of your modifiable list. Let me go back, cancel this. Now, what setting we did? We did only
Company.
creation of
Company.
a company. Now, let me open that TR now, SC01. I'll select only modifiable, click on display. This is the TR that I have created now.
Yes.
Select this TR ending with 57, expand this. If I click this will show me 58, which is your customizing task. Open this 58. Inside the 58, you have one more drop down, view
View
maintenance data.
maintenance.
Open this. This you will find V underscore T880. Now, always remember, wherever you find V underscore, that represents view, VIEW, view. Now, V underscore, whatever is there, is the table. What is V underscore
Table.
T880?
Table
V
view.
underscore represents the view, and after V underscore, whatever is there, is your table name. What is
Table
the
name.
table name here?
T880.
T880. Now, I do not know what is T880. What you will do is, open one more screen, go to a transaction SE16N. This is
160M.
very important, which you will use as a consultant on a daily basis. Enter this SE16N. What table it is showing me? P underscore
T880.
T880. You simply copy everything. Okay. And remove the beginning space. After giving this, click enter.
Internal trading partners. Company data.
I give this, a maintenance view exists, but it is showing me internal trading partners. Now what I'll do, I'll remove this because V represents view. I don't want V underscore. Remove V underscore, keep only T880 and then press enter. Now you are
Global
able to edit
company
the
data.
data.
Yes, sir.
right? Execute this. If you execute this, you will get the list of companies that are created. Now in this, what is the record that is updated from your TR? There is a record updated in this list. From your TR, there is a record going to get updated in this. Now currently, how many records are there?
352.
Which means earlier there were only 351. With this TR, you have added another
One.
record which has become 352. Now let me come to my TR, expand this T880. Now under VT880, there is this subtable. This is your view table. This is your main table, which is your T880. Open this. Now what is the first three digits?
Client code.
First three digits is your 800 that represents your client number or your client code. In this client 800, what is the four digits that you are seeing? MA
Company. RU
RU
company.
is the company is what you have defined. What you will do, come to this and put under company MA RU
RU.
and then execute. This record from this table is being copied. Okay, this record from this table is copied and updated in the target clients like your quality or production. So system will know this table. Okay, in this table, this record is created newly using this TR. When you release this TR in your quality system, this table will be auto updated. Clear?
Yes, sir.
This table will be auto updated when you move this TR. Let me go back. So this is what happens when you do any configuration. Remember your TR number, remember the sub TR number, remember from where you will check your TR. Okay, so TR status or release, you will use SE01
01.
or
Oh, SC09.
SE09 also you can use. And table view is your SE16N.
16N.
Now we have done company creation. After the company creation, let's move on to the next step. After the company creation, you'll have to do company code.
Company code.
Okay, so I'll copy this, keep this in my Excel sheet.
So Ajay, I have one doubt here.
Yes,
Can I ask?
it is
Hello?
related to company code. Ask.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. So let's say we have even 50 company. So we will create 50 company codes only, right? 1:1.
No, company is not 1:1 because with the linkage of your company and the company code, there is something called. What is this?
Post to affiliated company.
Affiliated company. This one.
Do not post to affiliated company.
So there is something called affiliated company and non-affiliated company.
Yeah.
Right. So this connection system is going to verify whether your company code is part of affiliated companies or non-affiliated companies based on the company code and the company assignment. Okay, you may have two company codes assigned to one company or two company codes assigned to two different companies. Agree? Possible?
Yeah.
Possible or not?
Yes, sir. Possible.
Yeah.
I may have two company codes, company code 1 and company code 2. And I may assign company code 1 and company code 2, both of these to a single company called ABCD. Okay, when this is ABCD and two are under the same, I may call it as affiliated companies. Affiliated company means part of the same group.
Mhm.
Right? If I say non-affiliated company, part of the same group or part of different group?
Part of different group.
Different group. If your company code is assigned to a different company, then that is your non-affiliated company. Because when you are working for a client, your client may have, let's say, some 10 company codes. These 10 company codes may not be assigned to one company. There is no rule that all your 10 company codes must be assigned to one company. You may create 10 company codes and 10 companies also. For each company code, you may assign one company separately, or for selected companies, for selected company codes, you may assign another company. So when you're doing this, there is some logic behind it. Right? Based on some logic, based on some requirement only, this is happening. It is not that they do not know created in that way. There are certain transactions, especially when you do intercompany transaction. What transactions?
Intercompany
Intercompany transactions. When I say intercompany transaction, we mean any transaction between two different company codes. You are posting a debit in one company code and a credit in another company code. All such transactions are your intercompany transactions. One journal entry referring to two company codes. In such cases, system will check, are these two company codes assigned to same company or two different companies? If two company codes are assigned to the same company, your accounting treatment is different from SAP point of view. If your two company codes are assigned to two different company codes, your accounting treatment in SAP is different. Clear? So there will
Sir,
be
if
further
two company codes
functionality.
are under, if two company codes are under one company, then we call intercompany, right?
No, it is not that. Intercompany is when a transaction is between two company codes.
Two company codes. Okay. It's not like two vendor or a customer.
No. When you talk about intercompany, you are not bringing company into the picture. You are bringing only two company codes into the picture, because
Company codes.
your intercompany comes when a transaction takes place. Any transaction is clearly with respect to the company code. Okay. So when such intercompany transactions are happening, system will read your company code and company assignment setting in the background automatically. Okay, this especially you will understand at the time of asset accounting.
Okay.
When we do asset accounting, I will show you in detail the functionality of this. Clear thing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But so far I have seen 1:1 assignment. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Now the next one is your company code. For the company code, if you look at this, there will be a transaction code. Transaction code, as we discussed, is always last four
Last 4
digits.
digits.
What are the last four digits from this?
OX02.
OX02. Let's take key code as OX02 here. Now for company code, I may create any 4 digits of my choice.
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use the same code as my company code. Instead, I will select I created as MARU. Is
Yes,
this
sir.
what I created now? Or
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
MASU?
Yes.
MAR.
MARU.
We wanted to create it. Okay, I'll delete this. I'll create with MASU. Okay, Maruti Suzuki.
Suzuki.
What I'll do, before deleting, I'll copy this. I'll select this. I'll click on copy because same information I need, just with the
Yes.
code differentiation. I'll click
Just we
on
need to
copy
change the
this.
code.
MARU, I will make it as
Yes.
MASU.
SU. Enter.
Right? Now I'll save this. Maruti Suzuki is also there. MARU is also there. So this is a duplicate entry which I do not want. Whenever you
Yes.
want to add another entry, always remember you first duplicate the entry and then remove the unwanted entry. Before creating MASU, if I delete MARU, I do not know whether my additional entry is created properly or not. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Because both are gone.
Yes.
My existing entry is also gone. I have not yet created my new entry also. Now, when I create a new entry, I may get confused. What did I create before? What am I creating now? Is it proper or not? Because there is
Yes, sir.
something which is missing, which made you to create another entry.
Yes, sir.
If something was missing, which made you create another entry. In our case, the code we created incorrectly. Make sure verify all the attributes are correct. Then you remove the duplicate entry MARU now, and then save this. Now I have updated as MASU as my company. When I create a company code, it is your choice. Option number one, you create same as your company code. Option number two, you create any new 4 digits of your choice. Now, in our case, I am not going to use the same 4 digits. Instead, I will use a 4 digit which is different than my company, which is MASU. I may create MS10. What I'm creating?
MS10.
Okay, normally when you create a company code, it is your choice, but the same sequence will have to be followed for all your company codes. Now here I am representing MS as Maruti Suzuki. First 2 digits of my company code, which is MS, representing what? Maruti Suzuki.
Maruti Suzuki.
And the 10 is not representing a company code number 10, it is representing 1. I may use 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 in that sequence. Or I can also create MA 01. But we
01.
normally do not recommend 01. Do not follow 01 because your this company is created from which country? This company code, Maruti Suzuki.
IM.
We are creating this
India.
from India. There is no surprise that you may add one more company code in India.
Yes.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
There is no surprise. So tomorrow or maybe after a couple of years, you may add one more company code in India. In that case, I
Yes.
wanted to maintain that sequence as 10 into 11. So I know that anything 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 are all from India. Similarly, if I create another country, I may use 20 or I may use 30. So there should be a logic behind any 4 digit code or identification you are creating for your configuration. It is not that that moment MS10 came into your mind and then you created a MS10, because this is nothing but your naming the convention. What is this called? Your company code naming a convention which has a logic. So when somebody is asking you in interview what naming convention you have used for your company code, people might ask you this kind of a questions also. What is the naming convention you have used for your company code? When you tell we have used MS10, they might ask you why did you create MS10? So their expectation is expand this MS10. How do I understand or how do I read this MS10? Because end user will read it as MS10 only, but as a consultant, you must know why only MS10, why not PQ10, why not MS11, right? You may have to tell MS represents Maruti Suzuki, 10 represents country
India.
India, or anything like that.
Yes.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Let us go to this transaction OX02 to define this company code. So I'll come out of this. Transaction code for company code is OX02, which we have updated here. Let's open this OX02. Now in OX02, you can see the change view of company codes. Here also the same logic. We are going to
Yeah.
configure for Maruti Suzuki. Maruti Suzuki information is not available in SAP. What we have to do? We have to
New
add
entries.
Maruti Suzuki information by way of new entries. Click on new entries. Now you have already decided what is the 4-digit company code, which is
Yes.
MS10.
MS10.
Put MS10 here. You know the company name. Company name here always represents the legal registered name according to Indian Companies Act.
Yes.
Okay, so they would have registered their company in the Companies Act. So that registration number is what you have to update here. If I would have registered as
Maruti Suzuki India Limited.
Maruti Suzuki Motors India. Now, am I able to type fully?
No, sir.
And I assume that Maruti Suzuki Motors India Limited. Am I able to write fully? No. After this,
No.
the field
Limit is
length is
done.
exceeded. So I am not able
Yes.
to fill further. So don't worry about it. Just ignore this because I don't find name to field here. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now leave this and city. So what city we
Bangalore.
have registered at? Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Country. In which country we are registered?
IN.
India. Select India ISO code as IN. Currency. In which currency are we going to do our financials in India?
IN.
INR.
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 Put INR here. And which
Language IN.
language are we going to use? In
English
India,
Indian.
IN.
we are going to use English. Now, after giving all this information, click on enter. Any message at the bottom?
No, sir.
No.
No, right? But did we fill the complete name?
No.
No.
No, right?
No.
Now, when you look at any company's official document or any company's letterhead, basically when you talk about a company's official document, we mean letterhead. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Now, company letterhead will contain the clear-cut name and address contact information of the company or not,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It contains.
right? It contains company's full name, company's AX number, company's contact number, full address, email address, whatsoever it is. Now, all that information in SAP, let it be any letterhead, let it be any legal document that is printed from SAP, comes from your company code setting. Comes from where?
Company code settings.
Company code.
Company code setting. Wherever you want to print your company code information, like your company name, company address, contact number, email ID, whatsoever, will be extracted from your company code related setting. Now here, whatever you have given is only the identification code for your company code. whatever you have given company name here is only the name of this MS10. The detailed address, you have another icon here. You will find another icon
Address.
here above that
Yes, sir.
address.
Address.
You have to click on this address. You will get a pop-up. Here you have to maintain the detailed registered legal address of your company code. So title, I am going to select it as company. Here you put, you have to be very selective while updating this, including your uppercase or lowercase spaces. Everything has to be thoroughly checked because this is going to be printed on the official or legal documents from SAP. If you maintain a spelling mistake here, there will be a spelling mistake. If you maintain additional space, there will be additional space. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So I'll write, let's say, Maruti Suzuki
SUZ, sir.
my keyboard, some keys are not working. Okay. Maruti Suzuki Motors
India
India
Limited.
Limited. Correct?
Yes, sir. The next field we can use as name too, sir, like how we used in company.
This is the name too, correct? If you have a big name, so there's no rule that your name should be very small when you write it in English, right?
Yes, yes.
When you speak your name, it may be a little smaller, but when you write in English, it may be a very big spelling.
Yes.
In that case, you will use this. Okay, even after it is not sufficient, you can add further things here.
Okay.
There is a mandatory field here, but even if still not, you can add additional field
We
here.
can add additional field. Okay.
One more. But these two are sufficient.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, and then search terms, you can use any search term. Maybe I may use the company code MS10,
MS10.
street and house number. First field talks about street name. Next field talks about your house number. There are two values here. One is your street and the other one is house number.
House number.
Okay, if I place my cursor at the first field, it is telling me this is your street name.
Street name.
If I place the cursor at the second one, it is telling me house number.
House number.
So you can put anything. I may put like
Park
Street.
Street.
Is 10. Postal code. What was the code we have used?
56
0078.
0078.
City is
City Bangalore.
Bangalore. Country,
IN.
so we have used
IN.
India. IN.
Yeah.
And region.
Karnataka.
Region represents your states.
State. Karnataka.
So Karnataka is your 10. Select
10.
this 10. If you want to update PO box number and all, you can update. And if you want to update other communication details like your mobile number, email ID and all, you can put this here. Okay, I'm not giving anything now. If you wanted to see, you can see the preview of this. This is how it will represent your address. Maruti Suzuki Motors India Limited, 10 Cars Street. This is the PO box. This is your, what is this? City, right? City,
yes,
and
sir.
this is your state. Country.
Country.
Okay, when you print, this is how it is going to print. Say okay. And then click on continue. Save this. Just verify your address, whatever you have given, and say continue. Now always remember, whenever you are saving your configuration, look at the description, not because you cannot all the time go by this code.
Yes.
Look at this description because it is difficult to remember these codes. You may get confused, and always go by this Maruti Suzuki baseline configuration. If a different one comes, if you are logged in with the same user ID which you have used before, because your TR request number is user specific. If this is created by Ajay user ID, if you log in with AJ01 or AJ02 user ID, you cannot see this. Okay, here I can see only customizing request involving user.
User Ajay.
Clear? If I try to log in with another user ID, maybe AJ01 or any other ID, I cannot see this, because this is something used by or created by user ID. This only that user can do this. If I want additional user to work on this, you have to add additional user to this. How to add additional user I will show later on, not now. Okay, I'll say
Okay.
continue. Now my company code is also created. I'll come back. MS10 is the company code we have created. After creating a company and company code, what is the next step?
Assignment.
So in this, no other thing we need now. Only when we need this respective thing, at that time only we will be adding, because you have to follow the same sequence when you practice. Now, definition I am minimizing. I'll go to assignment. Anything in the assignment or anything in the definition, limit your settings only to financial accounting and controlling, only two. Because as a FICO consultant, you are expected to work only on these two nodes. Open financial accounting. Click on this assign company code to company. Open this.
Transaction code 0x16.
Right. So if we look at the transaction code, last
OX16.
4 digits of your transaction is OX16. Here I'll put OX16, and this is assign company code to company. This is the setting. And here what we are doing, we are connecting MS10 to
To
MASU.
MSU.
So if you want, you can put MS10
10
is
is
linked
connected.
to
MASU.
MASU, because it is talking assign company code. So make sure you keep company code in the beginning to company, and then at the end you put company. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now let's enter this transaction OX16.
16.
I open this. There is no new entries screen because you are on the assignment. Whenever you are talking about assignment, you are connecting or you are linking to existing components or to existing entries. Company is already created, which means company is already existing in the system. Similarly, your company code is also already created and it is already existing, right?
Yes, sir.
Now go to position. See what system is asking you to input. What is it asking for? It is asking for company
Company
code.
code.
It is asking me, tell me what is your company code. What is our company code?
MASU.
MS10.
Okay.
Our
MS10.
company code is MS10.
MS10.
I'll put MS10 and click on continue. Against MS10, is there any company assigned currently?
No, sir.
No, sir. No.
No, right? Currently there is no company assigned. Now we need to assign a company here. Now go back to your Excel sheet. Which company you are planning to assign for your MS10 company code?
MASU.
MASU is what you want to assign. Come here, straight away input MASU, or you can open the drop down and find. You already know MASU is your company that you have already configured. Select this, press enter. There is a message which comes. What message is coming?
Company currency differs from company code currency.
Company currency differs from company code currency. Wherever you get such messages, try to double click on that message. Any additional information with respect to this message apart from
No,
the
sir.
message description and message number,
Message
no,
number.
just
No,
ignore
sir.
this. I'll tell you why that message is coming when we are actually on the transaction processing. So to ignore the warning message, what I have to do, because my save option
Click on
is
OK.
disabled,
Yes.
I
Enter.
have to click on enter. So this is the enter on the screen, or you can
Yes.
also enter on the keyboard. Enter this. Now my save is activated. Let me click on save. Okay. Clear? Any doubts so far?
No, sir.
Clear, right?
So that INR we maintain both in INR, right? Why we got the message?
No. In your company, we have maintained company currency as US dollar.
Okay, okay.
And in company code, we have maintained company code
INR.
currency as INR. That is where system is telling there is a difference between both the currencies.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right then.